What is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Raid Shadow Legends. In today's video, we have some exciting news to talk about regarding Kassandra's upcoming Odyssey Titan event. Now, there's two things here. For some people, this might be some time off, right? If you didn't go do the fusion event for Cassandra, by the way, I would wait until Friday just to summon her, really, because you're going to get some extra value there for an upcoming champion chase event that is starting there. But I also kind of want to break this down by using Donatello from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as a reference point from that Titan event that rewarded red stars for him. I think it's going to look pretty much identical as far as the formula goes. The length of time is very similar, and I want to talk about why or why not to push for this event depending on your scenario. And of course, if you don't have Cassandra, well, you know, have a fun 2 to 3 weeks time off for hoarding, maybe catching up and that kind of thing. But before we get started with the rest of the video, I do want to remind people that if you haven't started playing Raid yet, what are you waiting for? Download using the QR code in the top right hand of the screen to get Narma the Returned, Legendary of Knights Revenant, absolutely free. And these three amazing epics, we got Allure, we have Tagore, and we have Ruella at accounts level 10, 20, and 30. Also, don't forget that you can get the Void Legendary Support Champion to Hanorak. Absolutely amazing. Just make sure to use the promo code Desert Queen within the first 48 hours of a brand new account. Okay, let's start here. So this is from Nubraid's video, and so I just kind of screen grabbed from that. Thank you. I do watch his videos to get some early information. And so there is obviously tomorrow. Today is Wednesday. So starting tomorrow, we have the Odyssey Titan event to get, as you can see on the screen here, souls for Cassandra up to 5 red. It is going to be staggered, of course, so you will be able to get up to 5, but there will be 1, 3, and 5. There are going to be various relics up for grabs as well, although I have to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure if I'm really that sold on a lot of the Assassin's Creed relics. A lot of them are PvP based. I care more about PvE in this game, so I'm not super into the PvP scene, and so a lot of the things that are in this it's not really that big of a deal to me. Anyways, it's going to be from tomorrow all the way to February the 9th. So it's going to be about 10, 19, like almost 3 weeks, right? So it's quite a while. You can earn up to a maximum of 1750, but you only need 1500 to max. So this is just identical basically to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle for Donatello's event. You know, I have some reference points. Sorry, I meant to pull up this one first, actually. So this was the Smart Fella Titan event for Donnie. And you can kind of see the points required for a 3 red. Now, I don't know if it's going to be exactly the same here, but you can see on this screen that it was 600 points for a 3 red Donnie, which is pretty easy. When there's like 1750 points up for grabs, you're talking about, well, I mean, it's less than a third of the required points, right? If there was 1800, 600 would be a third. So, you know, it's maybe like 35% of the needed Titan points if it remains this number, which is very easy to do. But if you want the 5 red, you need the full 1500 out of a possible 1750, which is a pretty high ask. Now, we do need to backpedal a little bit because we need to talk about Cassandra, right? Like, is she worth it? I guess at the end of the, like, what is she worth? A 1, 3, or a 5? 1, honestly, you can get from just doing classic arena. Like, there's going to be, if you've never done a Titan event, Titan events tend to have pretty much all of the usual fusion event type events. We have your dungeon tournaments, we have your champion training, gear enhancement, classic arena, so on and so forth, with usually an added bonus. I say bonus, but it ends up being a required event for a lot of people that you have to engage in the summon events, and you also have to engage in a possible Deck of Fates event if you want to clear the 5 red, because you do need to, you can maybe skip a little bit here and there, but by and large, you do have to engage with these various events to get the 5 red. So Cassandra is an attacker, which generally means that they do benefit from having upwards to a 4 red, because that is when you can get the plus 30% crit damage. So it would be good to have the 5, but I don't know. I have a big issue with Cassandra with related to this A3. Like, the fact that you don't get like a free turn for these buffs, I think is what bothers me a little bit. I know that it has this extra stuff, but I would have just honestly, if they scrap that passive stuff and just, like, I don't know, give me a free turn out of this. My biggest concern is, I guess she doesn't get, once she does this buff, she doesn't get to her other round before, at least in PvP, before somebody else takes a turn. I suppose this is less of an issue, maybe, in PvE when maybe you're using some other turn meter characters and whatnot, and she gets some buffs, and then she can, kind of get her way back up to her turn for the Spear of Leonidas, which is a great skill, by the way. Stun debuff and all, but a lot of this seems to be kind of aimed at, well, wave content maybe in future faction crypts for the Argonites or for PvP, right? AoE stun basically. If the skill is if the damage dealt by the skill is more than 50% of the target's max HP. So if you're going for mega PvP, you might want the 5 red, but for everybody else, I mean, just to go on, I don't know, just click on any character just to show like what this really gives for a legendary, right? Obviously that's going to depend on which blessing you take, but by and large, like the stats that you get out of this, though, you get the HP from 1 red, you get the attack from 2 red, which means that since she's an attack-based champion, that getting that 3 red already gives you most of the stats that she wants, right? Which is going to be the HP and the attack. Like, that's going to help a little bit, especially the attack, right? Because she's an attack-based champion. If she was a defense, defense helps too, because you're getting plus 600 defense, so that helps too. All those stats help. 4 red is where you're going to get that 30% crit damage. Actually, sorry, 30%. So this is a lot, right? This is a lot of extra crit damage, which would be nice to have, but you can't get it for. It's 1, 3, or 5. So you basically have to go all the way into the 5. I'm just not as impressed with her. She's not a huge AoE sweeper either. So I just don't know if I personally care to go in the extra effort to get a 5. I can't stress enough how much extra effort it is to go from a 3 red to a 5 red, right? Like I said, 600 points here to go to milestone 5, which you can see here is behind the photo here, is actually all the way to the end. It's 1500 out of 1750. So that is basically everything. You're going to have to engage in potentially multiple summon events, champion chase, summon rush. I don't know. Sometimes there's like 2 summon rushes, right? Because it's over 3 weeks. But by and large, this is very intensive. Also, for the Donatello event, there was this Fuel Deck of Fates. Yeah, I'm zoom in a little bit here, right? And so there were quite a bit. I don't know, did it mention how many points were up for grabs? It might have been down here. Way to count the total. I guess I should have done that beforehand. But you can kind of see there was pizza points available. 20 pizza points under commons, 40 under rares, 40 under epics. So there was like at least 100 Titan points in this deck of fates that you kind of had to engage in. Otherwise, maybe you would have missed out. At the bare minimum, you have to definitely do all of the 2 summon events, and then possibly engage in a deck of fates as well. So, it's a lot of additional steps just to get that 5 red for Cassandra, or what's going to be the 5 red for Cassandra. So I don't know if it's really worth it, right? I think for me, anyways, I'm probably just going to get the 3 red and chill, right? And if you don't have Cassandra, then you can just chill for the next 20 days, right? Or continue to work on, other stuff that you have been. I guess this is a great time for a lot of people as well. There's a lot of people who need to kind of do catch up and that kind of stuff. So this might be the time for you as well. Now I want to take a look at these 2 relics, which will be up for grabs: the Oculus Custodian and Dark Smiles Toast relics. So let's jump in to the forge and the relic crafting and the relic index and wherever the event stuff is over down here. So we have this one, the Oculus Custodian. So this is legendary and this is resistance based. Removes all debuff from the wearers when they lose 70% or more. And I guess the HP thresholds can be reduced a little bit, probably to about reasonably to about 50% or more HP from a damage by an enemy in a single turn. Okay, it's a resist relic, which sometimes is helpful niche, but this is definitely going to be something that you're going to be using in PvP, right? This is a PvP based relic. Dark Smiles, this will be super easy to get. If you're going for a 3 red, you'll probably pick this up, because I think this will be on tier 2, whereas the legendary will probably be on tier 4, so you'll need to push a little bit past the 3 red in order to get that legendary relic. Whenever the wearer's turn meter is filled by a skill, heals the wearer by X%. It's not much. I mean, it's not crazy, right? Like, some of these relics have just been, in my opinion, other than like the Diabolical Dice and maybe the Thunderbolt Spear, I think are not super impressive to me. So I'm kind of, it's weird, guys. I'm in a bit of a weird, I don't know if I call it a slump, but like my motivation to do some of these things is not as great this time around. Maybe that's just me. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments down below, how you're feeling. Also, let me know what you're going to be doing for this next 20 days, I guess. Are you going to be, first of all, do you have Cassandra? Because if you don't have Cassandra, then this whole event time is, I would say to some extent, not something that you need to care that much about. Again, break times are great, and Raid Shadow Legends allows you to catch up on things that you need to do, whether that's Minotaur farming or whatnot, or just other things with your characters, gives you a bit of a breather. If you are going to be doing this, based on what I said and what you've thought about, how far do you think that you're going to be pushing? Are you going to go for a 3 red soul for Cassandra? Are you going to go for a 5 red soul? What are you going to do? Let me know all that in the comments down below. Anyways, that's going to be it for me. But of course, before I go, I do want to remind people that if you haven't played Raid Shadow Legends or you want to make a new alt account, get Narma the Returned absolutely free. And these 3 great epics, Allure, Tagore, and Ruella at level 10, 20, and 30. And also you can get 1 more Void Legendary Support Champion. Absolutely amazing for your start to Hanorach. Make sure you use the promo code Desert Queen within the first 48 hours of a brand new account. That's it for me, everybody, and I will see you guys all on the next video.
And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.